How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Captain Marvel, which follows our main lead, Carol Danvers, played by Brie Larson, a former Air Force soldier who races to find answers about her murky past. With the help of young Nick Fury, and amidst this, she has to harness her powers and deal with putting an end to an intergalactic war with an alien race known as the Skrulls. Now, I wasn't really interested in seeing this. I didn't think that this was a character that MCU really needed at this time. But being that Avengers comes out in a month, I figured that there was something that connected this film with the Avengers, that they would release it so close to that I was like, you know what, I've already watched every single Marvel movie. I'm going to watch this either way, so I might as well. But seriously, we should have just gotten that Avengers movie now. Like, why are you making us wait a month? Okay, this is unnecessary. We don't need this. Like, is this character really going to do anything in the Avengers? Maybe, but I for one didn't think I needed her. And going into this movie, expectations were really low, and there were things that I liked about this movie, and let's get into them right now, because I surprisingly liked the villain. You begin watching the movie and you're thinking, okay, we're gonna get another generic villain. It's Ben Mendelsohn again, playing the typical power-hungry villain that he's played in the last two films, whether it's Rogue One or a Ready Player One, and for once, it's finally refreshing to see him play not a one-dimensional villain. I would say his character is probably the strongest character in terms of arcs, and he's one of the reasons why the humor works in this movie. Samuel Jackson looks pretty damn incredible with the CG de-aging technology that they've got in this movie. Pretty amazing. They've managed to make him look like he's 20 years younger, and in the beginning, you kind of notice a little bit, but as you keep watching, it's really hard to tell that, it's old Sam Jackson on screen. The 90s setting also fits. I like when Captain Marvel smashes through the blockbuster, and then we have some little bit moments of nostalgia of what was happening in 1995. Really like that. Once that moment happened, things started getting into motion, the gears started clicking, and this movie started going somewhere, because I'd say the first act, it's a little bit hard to sit through. And I really enjoyed that train scene as we saw in the trailers. It's by far the best action scene in this film. There's two things actually happening. There's a car chase scene with Nick Fury, and then there's the actual scene itself on the train. Thought that was the best part of the film, and that action scene really worked well. It was a lot of fun to watch. As for the humor, most of the time it works. I'd say, again, with Ben Mendelsohn, when he's on screen and he's trying to do humor, it works. When Brie Larson and Sam Jackson are together, for the most part, they have some chemistry together. It's with other characters, Brie Larson, unfortunately, really doesn't have the chemistry, and the jokes fall flat, which leads me to my negatives. The film struggles to stand out. It's the 21st film in the series. I mean, it's hard for this movie to stand out. I cannot stress that enough. So we're in phase 3. I expect far better stuff from at this point in this franchise. I'll tell you, the origin story is just not that interesting. I would rather watch other origin stories over this. So nothing's drawing me to watch this again. Brie Larson, she's fine as Captain Marvel. Like I said, her moments with Sam Jackson are fine. They're funny from time to time. But the one thing that doesn't work is her personality. She's just very bland. She has this one-tone character giving us this very wooden, robotic personality. We don't get enough insight about her past. The flashbacks of her past and her friends, they do so little, which not only limit about finding out about her, but other characters from her past. I don't care for any of the characters. I probably should. It should be a very touching moment when she meets her friend that she's forgotten about after all these years of serving together. But I never get that connection. And the acting from the supporting actors is fine. It's just I never felt the chemistry, and probably because both characters are underwritten. We don't know anything about Brie Larson and her. Very little is known. And the acting by Brie Larson is this kind of like wooden acting, doesn't really help it. And it's just, with these flashbacks, I don't think they help the story out at all. And, it's just, why should we care? Why should we care about anything happening? I really found the first 20 minutes to be really unfocused and choppy, and the ending is very forgettable, which is like, How is it that I am forgetting a final action scene already when I just saw the movie? Not good. As for the cat adds some good level of humor, but a reveal at the end of the film, or towards the end of the film, kind of makes us question anything we knew about Nick Fury. What ends up happening is pretty ridiculous. It's just considering like whatever he said in Captain America Winter Soldier. It's like you look back at that moment and you're like, Sam Jackson, I don't know if I can take you seriously anymore. There's other characters in here. Jan Rog, played by Jude Law. You know, it's another character that just didn't do anything in this movie. There's another character, Lawson, didn't do anything for me. The chemistry was just not there. Whenever Larson was on screen with these two characters, movie just bogged down and just got slow as hell. And I just really took me out of the movie. Like, the chemistry just wasn't there. It did nothing for this movie. Just very forgettable characters. Spoiler alert, I guess it's not really a spoiler. Ronan does make an appearance in the film for like a minute. He's about as useless as the Golden People were in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Why is he here? Like, so people can just poke at the screen. Look at that! It's Ronan! He's just standing there watching for no reason. You know, as if he's like one of those FBI agents behind a black screen, or the other person can't see you behind the damn window. He might as well just been sitting in theaters with all of us drinking soda and eating popcorn, because he does nothing in this movie. It's like Darth Maul in Solo, a Star Wars story, just there for fan service and nothing more. In all, Captain Marvel was alright, but it should have been far better. I mean, I wish the character would have had better developed. We know so little about Carol Danvers. She doesn't really have an arc in this film. What was her journey that she took that transformed her into something she wasn't before? The flashback showed that she fell down and she got back up. Maybe she shouldn't have gotten up when she was little. And then now she gets up, fights the evil, and there would be some kind of payoff here. And we get some kind of lesson. But what do we know? She was a fighter then, she's a fighter now. She instantly had powers when the film starts. She still has those powers when it ends. What are her weaknesses? What was her struggle in this film? Her memory? Is that it? Why should I like her if it's not for her personality or her inner journey? I think the origin story is pretty weak. The characters themselves are underwritten, underdeveloped. It's a fun movie. You can get some laughs here and there. But at this point, I expect far greater from a Marvel movie in its third phase, leading up to Avengers Endgame. It's just, we expect more. With that being said, I'm going to give Captain Marvel a C. You know, we already have superheroes with magic. Whether it's Doctor Strange or Scarlet Witch, I want a superhero that has something more than just magic as their ability. Or do something else with their character. Make me care about their character at least. But, you know, anyone could have been Captain Marvel. There's no feeling where I'm saying to myself, this is Captain Marvel and nobody else can play her. Wonder Woman looks the part. I can't imagine anyone else playing Wonder Woman. Even Aquaman. I thought the movie was fine. And I don't see anyone else playing Aquaman other than Jason Momoa. So I wanted more depth from the character. And at the end, it's much like Doctor Strange. There's just very little to like about them, other than that now they're a part of the Avengers. And I hope they utilize her more in the Avengers, because right now, I don't see the use of her, other than the fact that, yes, she has powerful magic. With that being said, that is my review of Captain Marvel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up down there on the bottom. If you have any thoughts, comment it down below, whether you liked the film, disliked it. Let me know what you guys thought of this film, and I'll see you next time.